Hello, Daisy Cakes. This is Daisy X Machina, the drag queen detective who investigates all things speculative in science fiction, fantasy, and horror. And this is a Get Ready With Me where I get into drag to film a video later today. And did I just go off? Okay, my screen flickered. And please say hello if you're in the chat. And if you are, go ahead and talk about the books you've read this week. I finished The Tainted Cup, which I got because it won the Hugo. Absolutely love that book. I was tempted to get the sequel or not, but instead, hey Mooney, thank you for joining. I was thinking about doing the sequel, which I definitely will pick up at some point. But instead, I picked up Hemlock and Silver, which is the T. Kingfisher book that I picked for Shove It or Shove It. And as usual, T. Kingfisher is knocking it out of the park for me. It is a retelling. I don't even want to call it a retelling of Snow White. It's a story that T. Kingfisher wants to tell that has some elements of Snow White, but it's a completely different story. In fact, there's no evil queen or evil stepmother. Before the book opens, the queen tried to cut out her daughter's heart, who was the sister of Snow White, who was called Rose. And immediately I thought, oh, Rose Red, and Snow White's another fairy tale. It doesn't have anything to do with that tale. There is a mirror in it. I mean, it is so divorced from the original Snow White. It's sort of T. Kingfisher's kind of teasing people that like fairy tale retellings to read her book that doesn't have anything to do with the original fairy tale. All right. You're reading, or was it Orlando? By an author who I've never known. Lynette is here, yay! Okay, I know you started The Tainted Cup, 5 out of 5. I think that's what I'll give it to. Tim is here, hey Tim. And I also read, this is sort of a spoiler for an upcoming video, but it really annoyed me. Not the book. The book was Pebble of the Sky by Isaac Asimov. And I was going to buy the ebook because, I like the ebooks. And I don't know who is in charge of the Asimov estate, but they're shooting themselves in the foot. Because the book is what? It must be 70, 80 years old. And they're charging the same price as you would for like a new book, for like $12 or something like that, which is more expensive, almost twice as expensive as buying a used book. So I actually went ahead and got a used paperback. It took a little while, take some time to get it so you don't get instant gratification. But it was cheaper than getting the ebook. And guess what? The Asimov estate is not going to get anything for me buying a used book, because used book is, of course, the royalties already went to the first person who bought it. So I just thought that was annoying. Oh, you finished Atomic Noodle, sweet little novella about robots running a restaurant after a war between California and the USA. Oh, I love that premise. And I did love that cover. That was a strong maybe. Okay, so let's start some drag. Think about doing blue. I haven't done blue in a while. And probably was going to do blue and pink. So I grabbed a red wig. Maybe I'll do blue and red. Will that look too patriotic? I don't know. but we'll start with blue. And I did see the end of Wednesday Addams, the second season of the Netflix show that was dropped earlier this week. Oh, thank you for saying that, Lynette. I thought my video was glitching too, and I don't know why. I think it might be StreamYard. I'm reading a lot of horror. Just went to the library and picked up The Return by Rachel Harrison and the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. I love that title by Grady Hendrix. And I do like Grady Hendrix. I've just read one book by him. 2 more episodes of Wednesday to go. Of course, I've said I prefer the first season, or I think the first season's better. But I will say about the second season, there's a lot of subplots. That's interesting, or that they're juggling. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that glitching. I don't know what to do. I really don't want to restart the whole thing. I know it's not my, well, let me see. Could it be my camera? Of course, it's not going to glitch while I'm looking at it. Oh, well. It's definitely SteamYard. I hope my voice isn't cutting out, but yeah, it's not my setup. It's StreamYard. Hmm. I don't know what to do about that, guys. Hopefully it's not too annoying. Just hit refresh and it didn't help. Yeah, it's not you and it's not me, it's StreamYard, which is the third party app I use to do these live streams. And usually it's really good. I mean, I do have the free version because I'm cheap. But I don't think it's ever glitched before. So yeah, hopefully it'll just clear up on its own. Okay. And by the way, if you have Netflix and are watching Wednesday and you haven't seen Orphan Black, just watch the first episode. See if it's something you would like, because I think it's a surprisingly good contemporary sci-fi show. I might start a Ray Bradbury novelette, trying to get as many short books as I can for Shorty September. One of the prompts is a short book and the movie. Any suggestions? Um, Boy and His Dog by Harlan Ellison. Orphan Black just got better and better after the first episode. I agree. And I think it went on a little long. Um, if they could have wrapped it up like in 3 seasons, that probably would have, in my opinion, been a little better. But I still like the whole run. Ready, read, and watched Boy and His Dog. Okay. Short fiction. Anyone help Lynette out? Thinking a lot of the um, older speculative fictions were short because they mostly were um, written for the pulp magazines. I'm going to do a video today on the golden age of science fiction, so I have it on my brain. Oh, this is out on left field. I didn't like the book, but there is a book called Travels with My Aunt by Graham Greene. I don't think I have a copy. Do I still have a copy? It's a, I'm not sure how short it is. I mean, it's a contemporary novel written, I think, in the 60s. And it's one of the few books that where I like the movie more than the book. It's not speculative, it's a contemporary. But that could be a full-length novel. I'm planning to get Netflix again, but haven't gotten to it. What do you tell? I have enough free time to watch stuff. I hear that. What about The Road? Not sure how long the book was made into a movie. Are you talking about Kerouac, The Road? Want to do Sleuth, but the book isn't available as an ebook. Huh. The Road is a depressing movie and book. V for Vendetta, movie and graphic novel, fairly short. That's a good one. Oh, you read Travels with My Aunt years ago. I enjoyed it. Decades ago. It was Michael Caine. No, you know who was in the movie? I forget the name of the male lead, but the aunt was played by Maggie Smith, who I think she was in her 40s, maybe when she made it, but the role called for her going from like a teenager to like an elderly woman. So it's quite the range. Contact the book. Yeah, the book is not short. DK. I could do Orphans, which is a Lyle Kessler play. I don't know it. The Road was an End of the World book and movie. Oh, okay. Road starred Viggo Mortensen. Speaking of Ray Bradbury, is Something Wicked This Way Come? Is that considered short? I mean, I think it's short for a novel, but it might be longer than like a novella. But that was made into an okay movie. I think it's actually, I'm not sure if it was originally meant to be a children's book, but it definitely reads middle grade. Yes, he was a great writer. Is a Hobbit considered short? I will maintain that the best Hobbit adaptation is the Rankin and Bass cartoon. And not the 3-part movie that Peter Jackson did. Hobbit's pretty long even for a children's book. Come on, Blue. I think I might have to look at old sci-fi. Yeah, because there's so many short works, or works were a lot shorter in the 50s, 60s of science fiction, um, that you could probably find something short-ish. I read Something Wicked This Way Comes. I remember it as a short paperback. Yeah, if you haven't seen that movie, Lynette, and it's a good one to reread if you've read it before. Okay, I need to go to black. Back in black. I let someone borrow my contact HC years ago and never got it back. Yeah, when I lend books out, I kind of expect never to see them again. Back when I was reading before ebooks, I would read so many books that would clutter my house up. We had trouble with the storage and stuff, so it was always a relief to find someone who would accept a book to get it out of my place. I didn't mind giving them away. Perfect. That's XDK. Luckily, I've never had that happen. Used to be fear of mine. Hardcovers are expensive. No, that's true. I mean, if you can see down here, all these are just like the little paperbacks. That was my book of choice. Oh no, it's not streaming. Well, that sucks. Lori's here. Thank you for joining us, Lori. I found it at a garage sale, so I didn't regard it highly then. Search for it on YouTube. Sometimes YouTube has, I don't know if it's legal or not, but has movies and stuff. Okay. Once I left high school, I never found any friends who loved to read as much as I do. So no book swaps after high school. Oh, that's too bad. Save for me, Tim. Well, Tim and Lori, I was going to say you can make a lot of friends online who have the same things, but I guess it's hard to do swaps. I think I'm good. You read. Do I have a nice? Oh, you meant swipes. I think it's worth if a book is missing and you don't remember lending it at all. Yeah. I don't know if that's actually ever happened to me. What am I doing? I'm going to do a. Okay, I have this Phoenix loose powder. Let's see how that goes. House goblins, Tim. I make an effort to return borrowed books, but no one seems to do the same return. I had a lovely copy of The Sound of Wild Snails Eating, The Sound of a Wild Snail Eating, and I'm 100% certain I didn't lend it. Ay, ay, ay. Of course, have you ever uh, lost something and were convinced that someone like took it and then you found it like years later? I remember back in the day of lending things, there was this one of my coworkers, this woman and I would play game, games. You could buy a game on a CD, and I lent her one. I think it was Zork, and then she lent me one, which was some Lovecraftian game, and I lost it. I lost her game. I was so devastated. So I told her I would get her any game she wanted, and then years and years later, I found the game. Swore that actually I think I thought I had thrown it away. Yeah, this would look better in pink, but we're committed to red. I should have done eyeliner first. Oh well. The glitching had stopped. Yay. Oh, it had deckled edges or pages. I like deckled because it makes it easier to turn the pages, in my opinion. I am missing a fairly expensive ring and suspect my cat knocked it off the kitchen counter when I took it off to the wash dishes. The only place it can be is in the vacuum cleaner. Oh no. Oh, Tim. Yeah, that computer game, I thought I had thrown it out by accident. Oh no, Lynette. My dentures went missing from my dressing table. I found the dog had taken it and chewed on them. Oh no. Oh, I had a Tracy Lords VHS from the 80s, loaned it out and he lost it. Yeah, sure he did, DK. Tracy Lords. You don't know who she was. She's a or is a or she was an adult film actress that tried to transition to um, mainstream movies. I think John Waters was the first one to cast her in a non-adult movie. Well, actually, she's the one who lied about her age. And when she did the first round of adult movies, she was like, I don't know, 17. But then when she turned 18, she made her own adult movie, revealed that she was underage when the other adult movies were made. So everyone had to return those movies. And the only movie, Tracy Lord's movie you could buy was the one that she produced or something like that. I thought it was uh, interesting business strategy. Okay. I need to do eyeliner. Last time I saw Tracy Lords was in Zack and Miri Make a Porno. She was in Crybaby with Johnny Depp. That's it. Thank you, Lori. My opinion, she was the good looking one in the movie. She was like 15. Okay. Totally couldn't tell. Definitely a different time. You couldn't get away with that today. Oh, I wish I did this first. Okay. Wrangler Jane lied about her age when she made F Troop. I think she was only 15 and they had her chasing Wilton. Think about the old comedy F Troop. Yeah, I think it was easier to lie about your age, 50 years ago. I mean, I guess it's possible now. I don't know. I mean, there's certainly stories of men who joined the service when they were underage. I guess some women too. F Troop is non-PC today. I think a lot of those shows were. My grandfather lied about his age to get off the family farm to fight in World War One. Wow. Mr. Magoo is very non-PC. I love that cartoon when I was a little girl, but I certainly see why it was problematic. You know, they made a live action version with Leslie Nielsen as Mr. Magoo. But yeah, I used to love Mr. Magoo too. But, I mean, all those shows back then that had that type of humor. Well, not Mr. Magoo. I'm thinking about Leslie Nielsen, the live action, but Naked Gun, Airplane, those spoofs that were so hilarious can be really problematic now. Some of the jokes. I mean, the original Airplane um, had that joke about pedophilia that I think it's cut from the movie. I don't know when it was cut, but I don't think you that line. It was like Peter Graves. It wasn't bad. Peter Graves was like the pilot, and this little boy was like um, getting a tour of the pilot area, and he would say things like, "Have you ever seen a grown man naked?" I don't think that line's in there anymore. The Naked Gun. I don't know if you guys know or remember this. Naked Gun, before it was a movie, it was a TV show that I loved. It was called Police Story, but it didn't do very well. So I don't know how it. Then there must be a story there. This TV series that was hilarious, but no one liked it. Somehow got made into a movie. Anyway, there's. I'm going to laugh at this because I'm Japanese American, but one of the funniest things that I'm sure is non PC now is there's a scene in Police Story, and it's cracking me up now. But they decide to go to this Japanese rock garden to meet the villain, or for whatever reason, they went to this Japanese rock garden, and they walk in, and it was this garden filled with rocks, and these Japanese people just sort of standing there like they were growing among the rocks. I think it's hilarious. I'm sure it's non-PC. Oh dear. Don't cancel me. I've never seen a live action Mr. Magoo. I don't think it was that great. See the Naked Gun, they're better. Danced with a couple cute girls last night. All right, DK, and they looked underage, so I stayed away. Nothing wrong with dancing though. And if they were in a bar, they probably weren't underage because they're carded. It's just people when you get to a certain age, everyone under 25 looks like they're underage. That's just the rule. Police Squad. Love that show. I don't think that show aired in Australia. I bet it's on YouTube. Okay. Um, I think there were very few episodes made of Police Squad. But some executive somewhere recognized the humor was good enough that they greenlit a whole movie, Naked Gun, that whole franchise. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna do red again. I think this looks better with pink, but something different. Carded, but I was thinking fake ID, maybe. Fake IDs are still out there. I'm one of the few. Okay, this is I guess very regional, but back in the day, there was the age of consent for alcohol or for bars was 18. And then state by state, they moved it to 21. I think I was one of the few that was on the cutoff date for 18. So in Maryland, I think that they did that state by state. I don't think it was a federal rule. Okay, anyway, let me brush off this bake. Oh, and I am going to try the face tape again. The last 2 weeks I've tried it and they've lifted off, so I had to redo new ones. But the first time it was just the sticky things. Last week I tried spirit gum because I had that, but that lifted too. So now I'm trying Prosade, and that's supposed to do the trick. But I was lucky. I was watching other drag queens who use this type of system. A lot of them just use like packing tape, like the really sticky packing tape, and they use it to pull up their faces. So okay. I was never carded, not even once. Feds used highway safety funds to the states to force states to. Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. I was too young to care back then, but that makes sense. They did it state by state, but it was response to a federal mandate. Feds withheld money to states until they changed their drinking ages. I think Louisiana was a holdout for a long time. changed to 18 in the mid 70s. What was it? I mean, it's 21. We're talking about 18 to 21. When did I lived in Mississippi and we would drive over to Louisiana? Okay. My opinion, which I'm sure no one cares about. Um, I understand the reason changing it from 18 to 21 because statistically it prevents some drunk driving. But in my opinion, if you are old enough to get drafted into the war, and grew up around when the Vietnam War was a thing, there was drafting. If you're old enough to get drafted or just to go into the military and get shot for your country, you should be old enough to buy a beer in a bar, in my opinion. It was 21. Everyone changed at the same time, voting marriage without parental consent, etc. Oh, interesting. I prefer states' rights issue on this one. Each state constitutionally has a right to set drinking age. They caved because of the money. Okay, so I'm not the only one, Lori. Lori says the same thing. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people do, especially the ones that grew up before the 21 thing was widespread. But I mean, after a certain age, we it's hard to really care that much about it, to like campaign about it. But it felt like a much bigger thing back when I was young. I think that it put a little bit of white in the corners. Hey, Lex, we missed you quite a bit. Thank you for joining us. Sorry for being a ghost. Been dealing with some dark. Oh, I'm sorry, Lex. I hope things are better for you. Then there was the Prohibition era. That was before my time. I think that was before all our times. Okay. I just had a thought. I could read Who Goes There and then watch The Thing. Which version of The Thing? Just came back from a new bookstore and found some books and comics. Oh, great. Tell us which books or comics. Okay, so thinking about red lips or blue lips. I think I'm just going to do red to go with the eyes. I remember comics being 20 cents and 25 cents. New comics are expensive like everything else. Yeah. I was talking about the Asimov book I bought. I think on the cover it said 95 cents. The original thing, I'm not sure if I have seen the remake, which is best. I think I like the remake better, but it's also a lot grosser. I mean, but it's Carpenter, right? John Carpenter did that show called Gimme Gimme Disco. Gimme 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 da da midnight. Where do you find dances like that, DK? I don't think they're around here. I miss disco. I remember my sisters and I saving up $1 to get a really thick comic book, which uh, dozens of a story. We only got 10-cent pocket money a week back then. 10 cents. I don't know why they just don't get rid of pennies now. I mean, can you even? I remember 1 cent candy. I mean, they're nothing, but I don't think you can buy anything for a penny now. Okay. As a kid, I was allowed to buy lots of books, but not allowed comic books. Oh, that's interesting, Lori. Dance clubs often have theme nights. Another club is doing a Britney Spears show. Yeah, I don't see them here in Vegas, DK. Comics, Absolute Wonder Woman and Superman, Heaven's Official Blessing. I love pennies, and you can bet that when they get rid of them, companies will raise the price of everything. That's true, from 562 to 6. Yeah, that's true. 10 cents in 1965 is worth $1.66 today. I don't think today's kids would be happy with that amount. $1.66 cheap is cheap. Really? 10 cents in 65 is $1.66 now. Oh, you're talking about the uh the money you got. And what do you call it when kids get an allowance? Yeah. $1.66 today wouldn't be much. I thought you were talking about comic books. Like a 10-cent comic book today would be $1.66 comic book today, which would be great, but it's not. I'm the wrong person to ask, Tim. I have no idea. We called it pocket money. There we go. I don't remember what I got. I got something because I would buy stuff. But those are the days when I got comic books from the 7-Eleven or drugstores because they had that carousel, that rack with comics. I haven't seen those around it recently. But the comics were all either Marvel or DC, and I would like the Marvel ones. And Archie, I would get Archie comics too. And the reason I would get Archie is because now that memories are bubbling up, was because of Sabrina, the Teenage Witch, because I was a huge fan of Bewitched, the TV show. And it felt like Sabrina, the Teenage Witch, was adjacent to Bewitched. The average allowance for ages 5 to 17 is $40 a week. What? According to ChatGPT, allowance in the USA is between 19 to 37. Why would a 5-year-old need $40? Okay, so I'm just going to put on lashes and call it a day. Makeup style of Endora. I've looked up her makeup style. It's I don't have an Endora. Well, maybe I have an Endora wig. I don't really have an Endora wig, but she did a lot of the white under eye stuff that I'll stop doing because I didn't think it looked good on me. wasn't a big Archie fan, mostly Marvel and DC when Sandman was. What year are we talking about, DK? Because if you're talking about the Sandman, Neil Gaiman Sandman, that was the 80s. And I think some of us are talking about the 70s. But there was a Sandman before the Gaiman Sandman. Brother used to buy the Phantom. That's an oldie. You're talking about 7-Eleven. That was like my hangout when I was like 10 to 12. But they had these for Slurpees. I lived in Hemet, California, which is kind of close to Palm Springs, meaning it was very, very hot. So, you would buy Slurpees, which is just crushed ice drink. But then 7-Eleven started putting out, I think it was Marvel. It was definitely Marvel superhero collectible Slurpee cups. And man, my Slurpee consumption just shot way up because I had to collect them. I think every week they would have like a different assortment, like 3 to 5, maybe it was 3 different. It was superheroes and villains, but I don't know why this look is reminding me of Lily Munster. I think it's a red. Okay, Sandman about 1990. Years before that, I was mostly Marvel heroes. Okay, same. Sandman started in late 80s, though. Special Hot Wheels car at 7-Eleven right now. I don't have a 7-Eleven here to get one. My mom still has her issue of the Fantastic Four for 1961. Wow, Lex. She got it back when she was a teen. Now, the reason why I remember about the Sandman is because I got the first issue of Sandman when it came out. And I know it was in the 80s, late 80s. And I also got the first issue of Hellraiser because they came out around the same time. And it was that time, the 80s, when they started catering to the adults. Okay. Because you got the Dark Horse, DC, and a lot of indie comics back then. Like, I remember really loving the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but that was a not subversive, but that was a dark adult comic when it first came out. And before it was a movie or cartoon or anything. It was a black and white indie comic that was it was not what you would think of it today. I mean, maybe it is. I haven't really kept up with the Mutant Ninja Turtles. Oh, there was a comic called Aardvark, or is it Aardvark? Cerebus, the Aardvark. about a barbarian aardvark superhero. It was black and white. It was very adult, very experimental. My mom was deadly during her spring clean, so I don't have many of my childhood things left. Yeah, same. Fantastic Four number one was worth a few thousand back in the 80s, probably a lot now, definitely. Got the very first comic of Spider-Man 2099. Ooh, nice. I guess catering to the adults might be why comics became so expensive. Yeah, that's probably true. Because it was back then in the 80s that, comics were just the flimsy little comics, but then they started like the adult higher end ones had like harder covers on them. Not hardcover, but definitely more expensive feeling. Had red foil. There we go. Aardvark was the publisher. Was it? He was also the Cerebus. Huh. I need to look that up. My youngest son liked the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which means I have to take him to the cinema and sit through the movie. I think the only comics I really read was Mad Make. Oh, Mad. Yeah. So many 70s and 80s comic. You know what I liked more than Mad was the Spy versus Spy. Was that part of Mad or did they have different? I don't know, but I love Spy versus Spy. Okay, guys. Put this over here. And let's try this face tape thing again. See if it holds this time. Maybe my trouble is just always having trouble finding the hook, so I bend it too much. Come on. Okay, mirror back. Where's the darn hook? Okay. Okay. And Lori, you asked me about this face tape before. I don't even notice it because I remember the first time I tried it when I took off my wig, I was like, "What's this hard thing in my hair?" But it was the knot. These earrings I got from some Instagram seller. They're really cheap, but these are pictures of books of George R. Martin's Game of Thrones. And this is the red wig I've got. Okay, let me zoom out just a little. Okay, we love Spy versus Spy. Oh, cardboard stock covers for some of the squared prestige formats. Love Mad and Spy versus Spy. I still have a few old Spy versus Spy. Yeah, that's right. I got them as paperback books too. I think I remember a Spy versus Spy magazine. Maybe it was a spin-off of Mad. Parodies they did. Yeah, that's what Mad magazine was great for. I kind of remember their parody of Planet of the Apes. Love the Mad parodies. Is it still around? It's been a while since I've. Oh, thank you, Lynette. I miss parody movies, but the crappy date movie, etc., killed that genre. Thank you, thank you. Oh, let me put on some gloves. Yeah, the red eyelids are growing on me. I think I may switch this out to a red necklace. Okay, guys, this is the final look. And this is my Christmas wig because this is a poinsettia, but you never really see this, so I don't mind wearing it whenever. And it sort of is like that 80s asymmetrical look, I think. Anyway, I will be filming today a video on the golden age of science fiction, which you probably won't see for till next month. And this week, I think I'm doing a book review of the book I did, I think Captain Future, yeah, that I picked for the Hugo, Retro Hugo. Always got to have gloves, yes. Okay, guys. Thank you, Laura. I hope to see you next week. And as usual, may all the books you read be